So that's been really, really good. Now, one of the questions I have, and when I first met with Carson and talked to him, was the name Squeeze. Where did it come from, and who came up with it?
Yeah, so before I started Squeeze, I worked in education for a company that had 500 sales people, and we would consume 10,000 leads every week. So every week they're buying 10,000 leads that were being distributed out to the sales team. And what we realized and found was that the sales team couldn't get through and create meaningful conversations with so many of those leads that were purchased. And the companies are spending millions of dollars a month potentially on this lead volume, and to have leads come in and not be contacted, not be converted into sales opportunities, I just kind of recognized that this was a pain point for a lot of companies, and that's kind of why we started Squeeze. And so since then we moved into financial services businesses and mortgage and insurance and home services, home security, everything from bath remodel to walk-in tubs and things like that as well. So just a lot of businesses that have large sales teams and consume a lot of lead data. That's kind of what we realized we could help provide a solution for those companies. So
yeah, for sure. You'd be surprised at which companies out there have a lot of lead data. And that's usually the people we can help the most. That's who we're targeting and that's who we're talking to. And we have, like Carson said, we have home services, we have above ground pools that we're talking to. And then, a couple of seats over, we could be talking to somebody about mortgage. So it's all over the place, but it really comes down to who's interacting with a lot of consumers. One thing that was interesting that you said, Carson, is you talked about how your salespeople couldn't really get to everybody. And if you think about a traditional sales funnel, there's going to be breakage all the way around it. So one of the things, Jacob, that you're really good at is identifying the sales funnel, looking at it, analyzing it, and see where things drop out. So why don't you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, absolutely. I think with this sort of thing, like everyone kind of wants a silver bullet, right? And to me, I think the real silver bullet is having systems and processes that give you insight into each step of the sales funnel, right? To your point, the different products and services that we work in all might have a different sales process, right? One might take 3 months to close. Another one might be a same day. If we can get a lead over to a loan officer or a debt consultant, they can close that and get them signed up that day, right? Some of them, the leads might be a lot more expensive on the front end or a little bit cheaper, right? But the truth is there are principles for each of those different industries that are consistent across the board. And that's where are these leads coming from?
Yeah.
And what are the steps that they need to go through to matriculate into a sale, right? Yeah. And really my objective and my main goal is to come to the table with these companies that you're talking about and say, hey, tell me a little bit about this, right? Like what's going on with these leads? Where are they coming from? What are you hoping that their brand experience is, right? How do we make sure that every touch that they have along this marketing funnel creates a level of brand loyalty and a strong sales experience that will make them conducive to close at the end of that whole process, right? I'm really surprised by the lack of systems that some companies will have, right? Some people just think it's leads and sale.
Yeah, there's all kinds of things in between.
There's so much that happens in the middle there. And a lot of it is systems and processes, and a lot of it is people and soft and more qualitative than quantitative, right? But having a full scope understanding of what's happening is essential to being able to diagnose like the different issues and then also recommend changes, adjustments, kind of strategic adjustments that will allow you to optimize and get the most out of that ad spend, which is what you're referring to.